Hello students, welcome to the Pole Science class of class 10, and today we will proceed with the point number 2, that is language policy, under the head, or you can say under the point, how is federalism practiced. So previously we had finished number 1 point, which was linguistic states, and we had finished up to here, and now today we will start from here, that is number 2, under federalism, or you can say how is federalism practiced. Under that point we will try to understand about this point, the language policy. Let us proceed then. A second test for Indian Federation is the language policy. Clear? That means according to the language how the states were divided actually. So it's about what? Language policy. Our constitution did not give the status of national language to any one language. Hindi was identified as the official language. So what is one unique features of the Indian constitution? That one unique feature of Indian constitution is that we do not have any national language. Hindi was identified as the official language. So as the official language only Hindi was actually identified, but Hindi is the mother tongue of only about 40% of Indians. Therefore there were many safeguards to protect other languages. Clear? Other than, we know that there are not any national language, but Hindi is regarded as the official language. But in relation to the Hindi also, or you can say to the relation of Hindi language also, it can be said that the Hindi speaking language or the Hindi speaking people are only 40% out of 100, as in India. So therefore there were many safeguards to protect the other languages. Besides Hindi, there are 21 other languages recognized as scheduled languages by the constitution. That means what? As we know that Hindi is one of the official language, so along with that other languages are also there, which the constitution has actually to safeguard and protect. So along with Hindi and 21 other languages are also there according to the scheduled languages by the constitution. So according to the constitution, there are 22 scheduled languages. Clear? A candidate in an examination conducted for the central government positions may opt to take the examinations in any of these languages. That means what? Suppose you are applying for any government job, then you have to give written examination. If you pass in that examination, you will be selected or you will be offered that post of the government. So likewise, suppose for example, assume that a candidate is giving exams, or you can say government exam, then that question paper will come in these 22 languages, or the languages which you want. Apart from Hindi and English, if you want that, you want Nepali language as the concerned student of who is from Nepali community, or if a candidate wants the question paper in Bengali language, then also he will be allowed to do that as per this scheduled languages given by the Constitution of India. So there are 22 languages, and if a candidate wishes to appear for government post, then he or she has to give the written examinations, and if he or she wishes that particular language should be given so that a candidate can give the exam according to his or her preference of language, then this can also be done in regard of that, because 22 languages overall are there in scheduled languages, which is guaranteed or which is given by the Constitution of India. Clear? States too have their own official languages. Much of the government works takes place in the official language of the concerned state. So now assume that apart from the country, states are also there who have their own official language. If I take the example of Assam, then you can say that apart from English, Assamese language is also used as the official languages. Clear? So here official works or the government works are done in two languages. That can be Assamese and English also. In every state I am talking about that. Unlike Sri Lanka, the leaders of our country adopted a very cautious attitude in spreading the use of Hindi. According to the constitution, the use of English for official purposes was to stop in 1965. However, many non-Hindi speaking states demanded that the use of English to continue. In Tamil Nadu, this movement took a violent form. The central government then responded by agreeing to continue the use of English along with Hindi for official purposes. So what it is written in the second para about language policy is that unlike Sri Lanka, the leaders of our country adopted a very cautious attitude in spreading the use of Hindi. That means while selecting Hindi as the official language, they selected it very cautiously. That means they adopted Hindi as the official language, but while adopting that Hindi language, they actually looked into both the merits and demerit sides of taking this language as the official language. According to Constitution, the use of English for official purposes was to stop in 1965. That means when our Constitution was ready and on 26 January 1950 actually the book of Constitution was ready, and according to that 15 years after, that means in the year 1965, the English language for all official purposes in India was to be stopped. Clear? So according to the Constitution, it was decided that by the year 1965, English as a language will be stopped, and it will be stopped as the official language. But what happened then? However, many non-Hindi speaking states demanded that the use of English to continue. But as we read earlier that only 40% of the speaking people are Hindi. So for that reason, that means that English speaking states are also there who only speaks their mother tongue or English. So for that reasons, many Hindi speaking states demanded that the use of English to continue. Non-Hindi, sorry. That means non-Hindi states can be related to the southern states of Bengaluru, then Tamil Nadu, where the people speaks either the mother tongue, that is Tamil, or Telugu, or Kannada, or either English. So in that case, they cannot understand Hindi also, they cannot speak Hindi also. In that case, they were actually demanding to the government that when the English was supposed to, as the official language was supposed to stop by 1965, they protested, they demanded that not to stop English as the official language, because if English will be stopped as the official language, then what will happen? We the Hindi speaking people will not be able to know or to understand their language, and they will also not be able to understand the languages that we are speaking in the form of Hindi. So for that reason, they wanted that English should continue like that and should serve as what? A neutral language, so that suppose assume that the people of Delhi speaking Hindi can also speak English, and the southern states such as Tamil Nadu, Bengaluru, they can also speak English, which will serve as what? A neutral language, so that the language we can tell or we can understand, which is quite easy to understand and to speak. So in that case, in Tamil Nadu, this movement took a violent form. While they were protesting that English should continue, that while protesting, that protest turned into a violent form. The central government responded by agreeing to continue the use of English along with Hindi for official purposes. And the central government, after that, what happened? When the southern states, particularly the Tamil Nadu, the people in Tamil Nadu were protesting to make continue of English language as the official language. While they were protesting, that turned into a violent protest also. Clear? And due to this violence related problem, the central government, or you can say the union government sitting in Delhi, actually agreed, and they agreed that English will not be stopped in 1965 and this will continue to be the official language along with Hindi. So we can say that Hindi and English both are now serving as what? The official languages of the country like India. Clear? Many critics think that this solution favored the English speaking elite. Clear? And many critics means they were those who actually works or serve as the opposition, or you can tell that these sections of people actually helped the other to see the negative things in that. So regarding that only, many critics thought what? That whatever the solutions were provided by the central government, that Hindi and English will both serve as the official language, this actually favoring the English language will help what? It will actually benefit the English speaking elite. That means those who are interested or those who are very frequently using English languages. So this decision of the central government to continue English as the official language along with Hindi will favor or will help these sections of people more. The critics were thinking like that. So promotion of Hindi continues to be the official policy of the government of India. Promotion does not mean that the central government can impose Hindi on states where people speak a different language. Clear? So now the problem was that the central government sitting in Delhi, or the union government sitting in Delhi, was continuing or was supporting Hindi as the official language alongside English. Clear? They were promoting that language, that Hindi should be spoken everywhere. But as they were promoting, promotion does not mean, whatever the promotion the central government were doing, that does not mean that they will impose Hindi, suppose in the southern states. That means they cannot impose, they cannot force the other states to abide by this, that Hindi will be imposed on them and they have to learn or speak Hindi. That cannot be done by the central government. So if they are promoting, that's good, but they cannot impose forcefully. Suppose you assume that in the states of Kerala they are imposing Hindi and they are forcing the people of Kerala to learn Hindi, which they are actually not able, or they are unable to do that. So they cannot do it in their own wishes. They can promote Hindi, but they cannot force to impose Hindi as the official language on those states where people are not able to speak Hindi. Remember this. This is the safeguard procedure according to the Constitution of India, where it cannot be imposed forcefully, or you can say where people speak different language. Clear? The flexibility shown by the Indian political leaders helped our country avoid this kind of situation that Sri Lanka finds itself in. So the flexibility means there is not rigidity, hardness is not there. It's not like that hard and fast rule that you have to abide by that only. If the government has imposed, you cannot protest also. It's not like that. You can protest and you can fight on your own. If the system is wrong, if their imposition is wrong, you can protest and you can have a solution over that. So that kind of flexibility is present actually in India. Clear? Because Hindi is the official language, we know, alongside English, but the government cannot impose forcefully on those states where people speak different languages. Clear? For your understanding, I say, for suppose example in Assam, I am taking the example of Assam, where Assamese is widely spoken. So Assamese is the official language along with English. So the central government cannot impose Hindi on us or the people living in Assam, and they cannot say that you have to learn Hindi and from today onwards Hindi is the official language. They cannot do that because we over here are speaking a different language. Clear? So this flexibility is there in Indian Constitution, or you can say in a country like India, which is not present in the country like Sri Lanka. Because what it was like, the Sri Lankan government was only approving the Sinhala or its language, but they were not promoting Tamil as their language in the constitution. So you can say that Sri Lanka have a very rigid constitution, but we in India have a very flexible constitution. Clear? So with this we come to the end of today's topic, which was actually the language policy. This is number 2, and in the next class we will start from here, central state relations. Clear? So whatever points I have made you understand regarding this language policy, I think that these points are now very much clear in your mind. So with this I will wind up today's topic. Thank you.